Hi, my name is Chengcheng Yang, and today I will be introducing about Tencent, which is a Chinese tech company that provides solutions for communication and technological barriers. The tracker is HKO700 and the OTC is TCEHY. The sector is Internet and Technology. My recommendation is buy. Its current price is 532 Hong Kong dollars at February 15 of 2025, and my targeted price is $713, which has a potential increase of 34%. My question to you is, are you interested in a company that has users covering 90% of a population in a country, the largest gaming empire globally, a comprehensive ecosystem, and a leaping revenue development with AI? Well, Tencent is one of these companies. Tencent has a comprehensive ecosystem with 1.3 billion loyal users throughout WeChat and QQ. Tencent invests in Hunyuan AI and other 3D engines to increase its revenue in game, ads, and fintech. Tencent also invests heavily in WeChat video accounts, which provides a strong product to compete against its competitor ByteDance. Tencent also has a gross margin projected to grow from 43% in 2022 to 55% in 2026. Tencent also has in the festival gout, their AI interaction was over 1 billion, which shows that their users are very interactive with the AI. To understand the Tencent empire or ecosystem, we have to look at WeChat and QQ. They are not just communication apps that are integrated deeply into daily lives. They have video, health, payment, music, and gaming features, which locks the 1.3 billion users to WeChat and QQ. To look at Tencent revenue, their first revenue comes from the over 22% of internet users globally, and their investment internationally in gaming companies like Riot Games, Supercell, and Epic Games, providing with them a 17% revenue growth. Looking at the advertising, Tencent uses WeChat, Tencent Games, and QQ to gain 15% of the Chinese market and 20% of its revenue growth in 2025. To counter the short videos like ByteDance, Tencent also provides features like banking, microlending, and property insurance. In the 2B space, fintech and cloud provide infrastructure for future growth. Tencent commands roughly 60% of the Chinese fintech market, alongside with Alipay. In cloud services, they hold a 15% domestic share, while currently ranking third behind Alibaba and Huawei. The demand for Tencent Cloud is asserting, driven heavily with AI integrated services, which also gives them a 10% revenue growth in 2025. AI intelligence is the engine lowering Tencent's costs and driving future scale. Their flagship large language model Hunyuan enables power social AI features seamlessly integrated into their ecosystem. Operationally, AI tools also reduce the price of character animation from 2 weeks into just 3 days. However, as investors, we must look at the risks in AI development. With geopolitical and competitive pressure, Tencent might face a problem in AI development because of the restrictions of US chips. Summarizing their strategy and positioning through the SWOT, Tencent's strength is its 1.3 billion users and its first global gaming market share. To strengthen this strength, Tencent invests highly in WeChat video accounts and AI integrated features to strengthen its strength. But the weakness of Tencent is its low domestic market share and ranked 3 in cloud service infrastructure. The threats of Tencent is also its strict domestic regulatory from the Chinese government and the export of AI chips. Looking at the industry analysis, the macroeconomic shows strong increase for our thesis. The market increased from 70K in 2026 to 120K in 2030 in US dollars per million. This is a rapidly expanded market for Tencent's integration for their businesses. Looking at the 5-pointer force, the threat of new entrants is insignificant. This is because it is highly intense capital to invest in global development and AI infrastructure, while competitive rivalry is a high threat from players like NetEase and ByteDance. Their super ecosystem decreases the threat of bargaining powers from suppliers and customers. So looking at the microeconomics of Tencent's revenue growth to roughly 66 billion RMB in 2024, and more importantly, looking at the margin expansion, gross margin improved from 43.1% in 2022 to 55.9% in 2024. This proves that the strategic shift towards the asset-light, high-margin software models is working. And looking at the next financial analysis, this proves that their strategic shift toward asset-light, high-margin software models is working. The balance sheet is fortress-like. A comprehensive debt ratio of 40.8 and a healthy current ratio of 1.5 ensures that they have liquidity and fund for massive AI models. Our projection is highly studied. We forecast the revenue to hit over 1.36 billion RMB by 2030. The model is driven by an estimated of 15% and 17% growth within AI, and over 20% growth with advertising for teams. This is anchored by the AI efficientness and the video accounts. We project the gross margin percentage to stabilize around an expectation of 57.7% by 2050. Looking at our valuation, I utilized two methodologies, a PE multiply approach and a DCF model. The PE ratio method, the valuation was calculated by the projected 2026 net income multiplied by the average PE ratio of comparable companies, which shows 733 Hong Kong dollars, and the DCF model shows 713 Hong Kong dollars. Looking at the ESG, Tencent is considered environmental friendly. This is because Tencent plans to use 100% green energy by 2030 and a renewable energy percentage of 12% by 2023. Tencent is also socially responsible because they use AI to improve hearing clarity by 40% for hearing impacted. Tencent also has a multi-tier governance system where the EGS working groups reports directly to the board of directions. So looking at the risk analysis, the regulatory of China and the market saturation is a high probability of risk. Furthermore, US trade restrictions on advanced chips pose a very high impact and threat to the long-term development of AI. However, as I noted before, in our DCF model, the geopolitical constraints have been heavily priced into our conservation valuation. In conclusion, Tencent offers a universal digital mode, and I think that with the AI-driven technology, Tencent is a recommended buy. So thank you for listening to my analysis.